So this audio might cut, oh no, the entire video might cut out because it keeps like saying I got a recording limit even though I've got a fucking 64 gigabyte card in there. Good idea. Ah shit. Shit. I'm a natural. Alright, so yeah, we're here in Ashcliffe to review the Tamron 18-200 Di2VC. I fell on my ass though, which is fine.
Maybe you should just take some photos with the Tamron, you're good at this, and then say what's good about them and what's bad about them.
It's not a bad idea, she should be doing my job for me. Okay, so I'm walking and talking and talking and walking because I really don't know how to do this video. This is like, I've been wanting to do a review of this Tamron lens, which I'm recording on now, for, well, forever, really. Well, not forever. Since I bought it, which was like ages ago, if you look at the unboxing video. That was like the actual day I got it. So if you watch my New Year's video, where I talk about my New Year's resolutions and stuff, I talk about how I want to make more videos. Squirrel! There's a squirrel. Babe, there's a squirrel. Ah, squirrel's gone. So we've come to beautiful Ashcliffe with the other one, who's waving nicely. And yes, I actually drove in my own car, which, because you know, if you watch my New Year's video, again, you saw that I passed my driving test. And I'm still really awkward, just like vlogging in person, in the real world. Doesn't really help that this camera is really fucking heavy. But yeah, enough jibber jabber, let's actually get on to the video, I guess.
By the way, I checked my website address from my business card, and it is right. So whoever it was that is at Nana's work and said it doesn't work, no. That's all I could say.
So, I've grown to love and hate this lens for many reasons. I was debating whether to do a pros and a cons thing, which I'm going to do, but the problem is there's pros and there's cons. So while she's dancing over there in the corner, yeah, I don't actually know what to say. So cons, let's start with the obvious one. First thing that sprung out to me was the aperture, which is pretty shit. So wide open at 18mm, the aperture is wide open at a whole 3.5, which is alright, until you look at the bokeh on the 3.5, which is really not very nice. And then once you zoom all the way into 200mm, it's a whoppingly high 6.3. Is that right? Yeah, 6.3. Come back before dinner. This big ass leaf that I just found. So yeah, a good portrait lens, people normally use a 70-200, which I'm buying soon. And at both of those millimeterage, the aperture is pretty much, in other words, shit. But if you want to try and take this stuff seriously, I'm like on my knees in a forest, which really isn't a good idea. But like, if you're serious about photography, then is all I can say. Look at her there. Sitting pretty. So yeah, that was bokeh quality compared to a, where is it gone? Compared to that beast.
Ow!
Please. Woo! There's brambles there. So yeah, that was a 18-200 portrait example at, what was it, f5 and 6.3 compared to this, which is f2.8 continuous. And she's stalking me. Merry Christmas. Oh, no, she ain't happy. Oh, well, what a shame. While she's off doing that, I'm going to talk about, yeah, I don't know, because there's so many cons to this lens, and I don't want to like just absolutely shit on it because it's really not that bad for the price. You can see that the image quality is alright, it's just that it's soft when you zoom in. So this is a thing that I found with a lot of lenses, is that when you just look at a photo, you're like, there, that looks really nice. And then once you zoom into it a bit, you can see flaws. And from what I found with this lens is it's soft, like really soft. Sharpness is definitely not something that you're buying this lens for. So this is hopefully, well, I say hopefully, it's hopefully going to be a short video mainly because, well, it's one of my first proper actual reviews, and because I don't really know what to say. This place is gorgeous. I don't know where I am, but try and find somewhere to sit down. Oh my god, no way! I've just circled back on myself. I can see my car. So yeah, they're just a few of the cons. You can pick and point out whatever pros and cons you want about this lens. At the end of the day, I can't tell you whether to buy this lens or not because I bought it, so it's my mistake, and I can't tell you not to. Jesus Christ. So yeah, instead of just listing out all the pros and cons, you can just see from the images that I'm showing on the screen. There's a few in there from, well, everywhere really, basically as many as I could find. A lot of them were taken at a place called Sandbanks, where I went on holiday and I kind of tested this lens. I basically just took a load of photos with the lens for a review that I at the time had no plan on making until now, where my New Year's resolution is to make videos. See? Think ahead. Why should you buy this lens? Because I'm not telling you that you necessarily shouldn't.
You said that it's EFS mount.
And it's also only EFS mount, so if you put it on a full frame camera, the photos will look like this. Hey babe, what's the difference between a jungle and a forest? I've already asked this and she got halfway through explaining. I just wanted to record it so she sounds like a nerd. What's the difference between a forest and a jungle?
It's to do with the natural biomes. So England's natural biome is a deciduous woodland, which... No, that's the climate. No, it's to do with the natural biome. So England's natural biome is a deciduous woodland. So if we were to leave it alone and like not be humans and ruin everything, then it would all end up looking like this, which is the forest. Whereas somewhere like the Amazon's natural biome is a rainforest, and it's to do with all the different animals, because animals in the rainforest, and the rainforest has a higher biodiversity than wait, no, well, jungle, wait, what? I've literally lost all of my train of thought. But yeah, that's basically it.
Well, that didn't work.
Hello.
I got force fed a ball, and I'm also stuck in my boot. I don't actually know if I can get out. Easy. Horses. Won't focus on the horses. There's the horses.
You actually have to have our permission to film us. I shouldn't look like a friendly person though. I could see her staring at me.
We just got told off by horsey riders.
She was a horrible lady.
Yes, you need your permission to film us. Free country, innit?
Did you record her saying that?
I don't actually know. So I think there's bluebells this way. I think. I'm not sure.
I'm not following the horsey footprints. Does that mean we bump into her again?
Hope not. Whoa. This really isn't the right shoes to be doing this kind of stuff in. She's the king. And in 2019 that statement actually makes sense.
2020!
Oh yeah!
I'm gonna come and slap you for saying the wrong year.
Oh, okay. That's right. Gross! Professional photographer.
Stop doing that!
So yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. The pros of this lens, well, mainly the fact that it's 18 to 200mm, which covers like all of the millimeterage. So basically what it boils down to is the fact that if you're not looking for perfection, then this is actually a good lens, because on paper, it's good. Yes, the aperture's shit. Yes, it's soft as fuck, but if you step down the aperture, it probably gets sharper. I don't know. I always shoot wide open. So what's the verdict then? What is my final thoughts on whether you should or shouldn't buy this lens? If you're a professional photographer and you need a versatile lens to do everything on a shoot, don't get this lens. Basically, I'm just going to say that. However, it is quite small-ish and light-ish and compact-ish. I mean, it's not as bad as the 70 to 200, but it's actually quite small and lightweight. So my verdict is that if you are traveling a lot and you want to get some nice photos and just photos of everything, then get this lens, provided that you don't have a full frame sensor. Jesus Christ. And the price is fairly cheap. So that's where I'm getting the whole like professional photographers are looking at this, because it's cheap glass. But you pay less You pay less money you get less quality. That's,
you pay for the quality.
Yeah, you pay for the quality. That's enough said. Oh, where have you gone? You're supposed to move with me, you
Oh wait,
idiot.
I'll try again.
Oh, where has she gone? You went the wrong way. Oh, where
Wait,
has she
why would you
gone?
go that way? You're in...
So yeah, essentially if you're traveling and you want just something cheap and lightweight and fairly small, then I actually do recommend this lens, because like I said, I took it on holiday and it's not exactly all up in your face. It comes with a lens hood, which is alright, I guess. And like I said, I'm throwing up images all over the video just so you can make your own opinion of it. Most of these pictures were taken on the 7D Mark II, the older ones, so like all the ones with the foresty stuff were taken on the 7D Mark II, and just other photos. All the ones that look nice, I mean, well, you'd know anyway because I wrote it down in the bottom of the corner, so well, this was just wasted time. But yeah, that's my verdict. I managed to get this lens on the UK site CEX for 80 quid, but if you can find it secondhand for 80 quid or less or slightly more, it's a lens under £100 that can go from 18mm to 200. Like, you can't really go wrong with that price. And that's one of the first things I noticed, is that it is cheap. So you have to bear that in mind when you're looking at a lens like this. If you want something cheap, get this lens. If you're not looking for quality and you're just looking for the picture, then get this lens. I definitely recommend it for certain people. If you actually want good photos and like sharp photos that people are gonna go, wow, that's a really nice photo, avoid this lens. Sigma do a 18 to 300, I think it is. That's slightly more expensive, but from what I've seen, it looks a lot nicer. I haven't actually got around to testing that lens, but if you want a wide angle, low aperture lens, then check out, I haven't actually made it yet, so I'll be making a video on that soon. With all that said and done, I will see you in the video. Bye. Is it still recording? Woo! Bye. Say bye. Fade to black.